In the summer of 1998, France not only celebrated with vibrant tricolor jerseys, but also captivated fans worldwide by writing a great fairy tale on its hexagonal soil. Under the leadership of Aimé Jacquet, that golden generation with their solid defensive play, combined with moments of explosive genius, not only defeated Brazil in a historic final to lift the World Cup trophy for the first time, but also became a symbol of the multi-ethnic unity of a nation. But behind those glorious moments under the lights of the Stade de France, time has etched its own unique marks on the lives of those 22 heroes. More than 25 years have passed. Some have continued to conquer new heights on the coaching bench, some have chosen a quieter path in business or art, and others continue to dedicate themselves to charitable work. Let's look back at the tumultuous journey of the players who formed the soul of France's golden generation of 1998. Zinedine Zidane was more than just a midfielder. He embodied Renaissance art on the green pitch. At 25, with thinning hair but magical feet, Zidane entered the tournament carrying the immense burden of a multi-ethnic nation. His performance in the final, 2 headers that found the back of the net against Brazil, transformed him from a talented player into a living saint in the hearts of the French. On the field, Zidane was a calm artist, but deep inside lay a fierce personality, sometimes to the point of extremism, as seen in his red card in the group stage or the fateful headbutt in 2006. After his peak in 1998, Zidane continued to conquer the world at Real Madrid with his legendary volley in Glasgow, then wrote an even more brilliant chapter on the coaching bench with an unprecedented Champions League hat-trick. However, his personal life was a complete contrast to the clamor of fame. Zidane is a family man extremely private, devoted to his wife Veronique and his 4 sons who also followed in his footsteps as footballers. He chose not to become a politician or an entertainment star, but rather to live like a hermit amidst the spotlight, only emerging when the love of football beckons. His career is a perfect cycle of dedication and glory. Today at 52, Zidane still maintains his refined and elegant demeanor, dedicating his time to travel, participating in charitable activities, and remaining a symbol of French pride, a legend quietly observing the world of football from a detached perspective. Didier Deschamps is the brain and backbone of the French national team. At 29, wearing the captain's armband, he was sarcastically called the water carrier by Eric Cantona. But it was this water carrier who orchestrated the entire rhythm of the French team. On the field, Deschamps is a tireless warrior, always appearing in key areas to clean up and recover the ball, allowing the attacking players to flourish. His character and leadership skills were honed during his peak years at Juventus. After retiring from playing, that leadership instinct led him into a disciplined coaching career. He led Monaco to the Champions League final, helped Juventus gain promotion, and then became the architect of France's 2018 World Cup glory. Deschamps' life is a lesson in pragmatism and persistent effort. He doesn't need flair, he just needs victory. In real life, he is a decisive man, sometimes criticized for being too rigid, but always fiercely protective of his players. He chose a quiet life with his wife Claude, avoiding scandals and always maintaining a cool head amidst conflicting opinions. Today at 56, Didier Deschamps still reigns supreme on the French national team's coaching bench, an old general with the wrinkles of experience, still tirelessly seeking new glories, proving that in football and in life, perseverance and pragmatism are sometimes the keys to immortality. Fabien Barthez in goal in 1998 was an icon of eccentricity and absolute self-confidence. At 26, with his signature bald head and daring saves, Barthez kept 5 clean sheets in 7 matches, making a significant contribution to the historic championship. The image of Laurent Blanc kissing his head before each match became a sacred ritual, a symbol of their bond. On the field, Barthez was a true madman, capable of incredible saves but also prone to silly mistakes due to overconfidence. After 1998, he moved to Manchester United and continued that free-spirited style before retiring in 2007. The most thought-provoking aspect is the connection between his on-field role and his real life. Barthez couldn't stand being constrained, and that very personality led him to a fateful turning point in motorsports. Instead of becoming a coach, he became a professional racer, competing in the grueling Le Mans 24-hour race. He found in the sound of the engine a freedom that the penalty box could not offer. Off the field, Barthez is a private man, a smoker, and leads a free-spirited life. Today, at 53, Fabien Barthez occasionally gives professional advice to young goalkeepers, but he spends most of his time pursuing his passion for speed and enjoying a peaceful life in his hometown of Occitania, a testament to a heart that always craves freedom and new experiences after years of flying between the posts. Marcel Desailly, nicknamed The Rock, at 29 embodies the strength and steeliness of the French defense. Born in Ghana but raised in the cradle of French football, Desailly possesses the agility of an athlete and the tactical acumen of a world-class center back. At the 1998 World Cup, despite receiving a red card in the final, no one can deny that he was the most solid wall that helped France reach the final. After that glory, he continued to solidify his legendary status at Chelsea, becoming a beloved leader at Stamford Bridge. Contrary to his fierce and powerful appearance on the pitch, Desailly is a man with a radiant smile and an extremely eloquent personality. He has successfully translated his influence into his roles as a commentator and ambassador for UNICEF, actively participating in charitable activities in his native Ghana and other African countries. He is a man who knows how to perfectly balance past glory with present social responsibility. Today at 56, Marcel Desailly remains a highly influential figure in global football. A dapper gentleman who always appears at major events with confidence and a heart always focused on humanitarian values, proving that the true strength of a player lies not only in tackles, but also in how they spread kindness to the community. Lilian Thuram was a quiet cornerstone in that team until the magical semi-final night against Croatia. At the age of 26, Thuram scored the only 2 goals of his international career to take France to the final, a miraculous moment that even he couldn't believe. On the field, Thuram was a complete, strong, and incredibly intelligent fullback. After retiring from Barcelona in 2008, Thuram chose a completely different path from his teammates, becoming a social activist and an anti-racism thinker. He founded the Lilian Thuram Foundation, wrote books, and regularly participated in political forums to fight for equality. The image of a calm defender on the field strangely reflected in his life as he used that calmness to debate the most pressing issues of society. Thuram was a true intellectual of French football, one who always questioned identity and justice. In his personal life, he lived simply focusing on his children's education. His 2 sons, Marcus and Kefren, are also current French national team players. Today at 52, Thuram continues his writing and public speaking career. He is remembered not only for his saves, but also as a symbol of conscience and courage in confronting the dark sides of society, a hero still fighting on a much larger field. Laurent Blanc, nicknamed Le Président, the president at the age of 32, was the heart and soul of the French defense with his elegant playing style and brilliant tactical thinking. He scored the first golden goal in World Cup history against Paraguay, a moment that saved the nation. However, fate played a cruel trick on him when he received an unjust red card in the semi-final, missing out on the historic final. But instead of giving up, Blanc showed the character of a true leader by appearing to inspire his teammates and performing the ritual of kissing Barthez on the head. After retiring from playing, Blanc transitioned into a coaching career and achieved resounding success at Bordeaux and PSG, while also leading the French national team through turbulent transitional periods. In his personal life, he's a calm man with the demeanor of an aristocrat and always maintains a certain distance from the media. He dedicates time to his family and his passion for golf, seeing it as a way to find balance after the pressures of the football world. Today, at 59, Laurent Blanc still maintains the image of a highly respected president, having experienced both glory and the ups and downs on the coaching bench. He remains a symbol of composure and strength, a man who has proven that sometimes quiet sacrifice creates an invisible force that leads the team to glory. At 28, Vicente Lizarazu was the enduring engine on the left flank for France that year. Small in stature but possessing immense muscle and speed, this Basque player redefined the role of the modern fullback. Lizarazu played with steely determination and enduring stamina, an indispensable link in the brilliant successes of both Bayern Munich and the French national team. After the glory of 1998 and 2000, he went on to win numerous Bundesliga and Champions League titles. Oddly enough, his passion for conquering the football field carried over into his life after retirement in very interesting ways. Lizarazu ventured into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and even won the European Championship at his age, while also becoming a professional diver and surfer. He is a nature lover and a staunch advocate for the protection of the marine environment. In real life, Lizarazu is an energetic, outgoing, and extremely disciplined individual. Today, at 55, he is a sharp football commentator on French television, but the most beautiful image of him remains that of a rugged man surfing the big waves in his hometown of Saint-Jean-de-Luz, a testament to his vibrant spirit and desire to explore new limits even after leaving the peak of his career. Emmanuel Petit, the midfielder with the romantic blonde ponytail at the age of 27, scored the final goal of the tournament against Brazil, sealing a historic 3-0 victory. On the field, Petit was a fierce warrior, a midfield sweeper with excellent interceptions and powerful long-range shots. His partnership with Vieira or Deschamps created an impenetrable wall in France's midfield. After 1998, he continued his success at Arsenal and Barcelona before retiring early due to injury. Contrary to his artistic appearance, Petit was a very outspoken and blunt person in real life. He did not hesitate to criticize the dark sides of French and world football in his autobiographies and commentary. He chose to live independently, refusing to compromise with the superficial glamour. Petit dedicated much of his time to quiet charitable work and his passion for writing and social analysis. The image of a silent hero seems to have transformed into an honest and fearless voice amidst the noisy world of entertainment. Today, at 54, Emmanuel Petit is one of the most respected football analysts, retaining his strong personality and distinctive style, living a full life, true to his ideals, reminding us that sometimes the truth is more valuable than goals. Yuri Djorkaeff, nicknamed the Snake. The Snake, at the age of 30, was the perfect link between France's midfield and attack that year. With his keen tactical vision and exceptional playmaking ability, he was the one who took the corner kick that led to Zidane's goal. Djorkaeff played with the cunning and fluidity befitting his nickname. A man of mixed heritage, Armenian, Polish, Russian, he was a symbol of the integration of multicultural France. After the glory of 1998, he continued his journey through clubs in Germany, England, and finally the United States. These travels shaped his life after football. Djorkaeff didn't choose to be a coach, he chose to be a global ambassador. He founded the Djorkaeff Foundation in New York to support underprivileged children and currently serves as the CEO of the FIFA Foundation. Off the pitch, he is a calm, elegant, and open-minded individual. He lived between New York and Paris, connecting communities through football. Today, at 57, Aimé Jacquet continues to work tirelessly on humanitarian projects around the world, a testament to a heart always focused on community and the miraculous unifying power of the beautiful game he so brilliantly represented that summer. Thierry Henry, at the age of 20, was France's top scorer at the 1998 World Cup with 3 crucial goals. At that time, he was just a teenager with blistering speed and an innocent smile whenever he scored. But it was that glory that launched him to Arsenal, where he became the greatest legend in the club's history, earning the title King Henry. On the field, Henry embodied grace and finesse, but off the field, he was an extremely meticulous person, sometimes to the point of creating immense pressure for himself. His later coaching career at Monaco and Montreal was a challenging low point, forcing him to learn to face failure and criticism. Henry struggled for a long time to escape the shadow of his past. However, with the resilience of a champion, he rose strongly as a television commentator and is currently the head coach of the French U21 national team. Today, at 47, Henry has become more mature, a better listener and empathizer. He still burns with passion for football, but with the calm demeanor of someone who has experienced the full spectrum of emotions, from glorious heights to the depths of doubt, continuing to inspire the younger generation with his own life story. David Trezeguet, a close friend of Henry, also at the age of 20 contributed a crucial goal and assist at the 1998 World Cup. Born in France but raised in Argentina, Trezeguet possessed the cold-blooded killer instinct of the Pampas region and the finesse of French football. He was the one who scored the legendary golden goal at Euro 2000, leading France to European glory. After 10 glorious years at Juventus, Trezeguet made an emotional decision to return to Argentina to play for River Plate, helping his former team achieve promotion. A noble gesture demonstrating loyalty and love for his roots. Off the field, Trezeguet is an introverted, simple, and extremely polite person. He dedicates much of his time to football development projects in South America and is an ambassador for Juventus worldwide. It seems that the image of a striker seizing opportunities on the field has transformed into a man who always knows how to cherish the core values of emotion. Today, at 47, David Trezeguet lives a peaceful life between Turin and Buenos Aires, maintaining his gentle demeanor, always willing to share his experience with young players, and beloved for the rare humility of a world-class star. Patrick Vieira, then a 21-year-old midfielder, was merely a reserve option for senior players like Deschamps and Petit, but it was he who created the final goal in the tournament. With his long stride and unparalleled strength, Vieira later rose to become one of the greatest central midfielders in world football history, leading an invincible Arsenal. On the field, Vieira was a fierce warrior, never backing down from any confrontation. But off the field, he was an extremely calm, somewhat shy, and highly disciplined person. His later coaching career was a journey of hard work, from New York Nice to Crystal Palace, where he always strived to instill a philosophy of beautiful football and professionalism in his players. He was also active in anti-racism activities and supported education for children in Senegal, his birthplace. Today, at 48 years old, Patrick Vieira is still tirelessly battling on the coaching bench, the passion and spirit of the 1998 champion still burning brightly in every breath of his career, a testament to the steely resolve forged during his most glorious years. At the age of 24, Robert Pires was one of France's most promising young talents in 1998. Although he didn't play regularly in that tournament, he made his mark before becoming part of the legendary trio at Arsenal. Pires played with an extraordinary grace. His tiptoeing runs and exquisite finishing captivated millions. His life took a major shock when he suffered a serious injury just before the 2002 World Cup, depriving him of the chance to defend his title. But Pires showed incredible perseverance to return and continue to shine. Off the field, Pires is a refined, gentle, and extremely friendly man. He chose a quiet life in Madrid with his family, participating in legendary matches to raise funds for charity and serving as an ambassador for Arsenal. He chose not to pursue a coaching career, preferring to dedicate his time to his wife and children and enjoy his freedom. Today, at 51 years old, Robert Pires still retains the physique and demeanor of a true artist of his youth. He is proof that football can bring a fulfilling and happy life when one knows how to appreciate the simplest joys of everyday life. At the age of 30, Frank Leboeuf entered the 1998 World Cup final as a replacement for the suspended Laurent Blanc. It was the greatest pressure a player could face, but Leboeuf performed brilliantly, completely neutralizing Brazil's Ronaldo de Lima. His subsequent career at Chelsea was also filled with trophies. However, what made Leboeuf special was his life after retirement. He didn't choose football, but art. Leboeuf moved to Los Angeles to study acting and became a full-fledged stage and film actor, even having a small role in the Oscar-winning film The Theory of Everything. He is also an extremely insightful and charismatic football commentator. Off the pitch, Leboeuf is a multi-talented, open-minded individual who isn't afraid to try new things. He lives a colorful life from the football field to the spotlight, proving that limitations only exist in our minds. Today at 57, Frank Leboeuf remains busy with artistic and media projects, a symbol of the spectacular transformation of a player who dared to live a second life just as brilliant as his life on the pitch.